Hey, good morning. My name is Scott Minero. Thanks for making the jump over to this video. My goal today, not to drop the iPad because it makes Dan from Tampa nervous. Let's hope I didn't jinx myself. We're going to answer your one-wheel questions about trail riding, if you have any. And if you don't, that's cool. We got so many cool things happening today. Lily's on the other side with Joey brewing some coffee. Joey, Lily, what do you know over there?
Well,
brewing our coffee.
you're not. He has coffee and I don't, so I'm
know.
not really sure how that happened, Joey.
I'm prepared and Lily's not.
I'm gonna need to do something about this. I think I'm gonna brew some during the live
I
stream
thought you were
today.
already brewing it.
Oh, I think I'm going to.
Were you not?
I'm gonna.
She might have it brewed already. It's just off camera, and she can't go off camera.
Well, I guess we'll find out. So many conspiracies.
Maybe.
Lily, do answer this. Why do you not enjoy, besides your injury, you can't say I wrecked, so I don't, but like, what's the thing about you and trail riding that you're just like, eh? And that's my best Lily sound effect that she gives often.
That was fantastic.
Yes, it was. What's your deal with it?
It's just hard and it's challenging and nothing easy is.
Wait,
nothing.
Wait, hold on. So all your
I know what you're trying to say, but I
CrossFit,
didn't
all
get
your
to finish that
CrossFit
fast.
stuff is easy? Is that what you're saying? Like,
No, absolutely not. But I'm still getting out on the trails to ride with you guys, just like I'm still getting into the gym to work out.
He's saying like everything worth it.
Everything worth
it is not.
Well, I think everything challenging isn't easy. That's what I'm trying to say.
well,
It's
yeah,
obviously
hold on,
it's
you
the
just listen to
opposite.
yourself. Just someone quote it, put it on a t-shirt. Everything challenging is not easy.
If it was
What?
easy, it wouldn't be challenging.
Yeah, I know. You just said the same thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Ivan's in
what
the
I'm trying
chat
to
saying
say.
tomorrow his one wheel should arrive. Which one are you getting? Are you getting the XR or the Pint? Let us know. We also are not alone. We have Rachel Van Rukel right over here. Rachel, how we doing?
Good. How are you all doing?
Well, we're doing. Rachel, can you help us understand what Lily was trying to say? That everything is challenging isn't easy.
No.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, but I think the quote she was searching for was everything worth doing is... Wait, now
You see?
Wait, no, it's something like that though, right? Somebody help me in the chat. There is an actual quote that says this.
But this says what? What?
It's like anything worth doing is hard work or something. I don't know. I need another cup of coffee.
No, I think it's.
We all need coffee.
I don't
today.
think it's everything. I think things
Oh,
that are
we
worth
just can't.
doing. Things that are challenging are worth doing. It's that.
It's still not quite right though.
But that's
No,
where you're
I
headed.
still
Yeah.
stand by what I was saying earlier.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a
We're
challenge
just all
if it was
fumbling our
simple, if
words
it was
today.
easy. No, I'm not. I'm all here. It wouldn't be a challenge if it was easy to do.
This is true.
Right.
Right.
But
I will
it's the
be on
same
the
thing.
trails.
That's why it's called challenging. Okay.
All right.
Ivan's getting an XR. That's pretty cool. Well done. We're really stoked for you. And same with, let me just say good morning to Johan Richards. Good to see you. Dan Woodham, good to see you in the chat. Michaela Sonnenfeld. We got Michael Ryan. We got Lily. We got Colin. We have Joey. We have anybody else in there? Noah's in there.
Johan says, "Welcome back, Rachel."
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
It's been a
Love
while.
that.
It has been.
It has been a while.
I was telling everybody I'm used to being freezing cold in the studio. That's how long it's been.
Yeah, you haven't been in it since. Well,
Yeah.
Today we're busting out cardigans. I've already been called Mr. Rogers. I would really like to be called Kurt Cobain.
Beautiful
versus
day
Mr.
in the
Rogers.
neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor?
Be my what? I don't think that's how it ends.
Won't you be my
I
friend?
thought it was.
Won't you be? Yeah, it's won't you be my neighbor?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so last week we pre-recorded, so everybody that was here and watched the pre-recorded, we pre-recorded because why, Joey? What were we up to?
We were actually making a video for all of you, the One Wheel community. We went to. Can I give it away?
Yes, we've already talked
Yeah,
about it. But you
okay.
can't give
We
away
went-
You
what
can't give
you
away-
can't
wait,
give
wait,
away
wait.
what we accomplished.
Yeah.
You can't say
We
if
went
we
to
did
5
it
Great
or
Lakes.
didn't accomplish.
We tried to do it in 24 hours.
There
Right
you
in the
go.
chat right now, if you think we did it in 24 hours or if we did not complete it. But 24 hours, we tried to complete 5 Great Lakes to paddleboard and one wheel at, and it was a lot of fun. Let me tell you, being in an RV with Lily, Scott, Holly, Michaela.
We do. We have some great
Man,
pictures to show them.
It was crazy.
We have
Yes,
some good
it was
pictures
a
to show
good
you
time.
guys.
It
But
was-
that's where we were.
It was a blast. We air it in like 4 weeks from now, where we will begin the journey. Here is us starting the journey literally 7 days ago. This is Niagara Falls in New York. See the boat over Lily's head going into the...
That was terrifying.
And then One Wheel hooked us up with some new helmets. So we were all wearing the same helmets. That's the waterfall. It's such a cool...
That's magical.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That
like
was great.
Like when we compare Niagara Falls to Mount Rushmore, like Mount Rushmore is super cool, but I think Niagara Falls was
we made
just unbelievable.
We made a consensus about why it was better. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Because it was alive. It was moving.
Right.
It was active.
Yeah.
And whereas Mount Rushmore, the guys, they look just like this.
Yeah, just like this.
Yeah, which is still pretty cool. It's just not what we thought. Okay, we got a couple more pictures. We're gonna. This is us. I think this is our very first paddleboard race.
Yes, it was.
You can tell that we're gonna go right into our one-wheel races because we're all wearing our helmets because of saving time. And so this is the first Crate Lake right after Niagara Falls. It was pretty funny. This is Joey.
Just screwing around,
Yeah,
boys.
just screwing around in the RV.
What was happening here? Why
Joey
did you
was
tackle
being-
him?
All of a
Scott?
sudden, Scott just jumps on me for
Oh
no reason.
my goodness!
Like, I obviously it looks like I'm on my phone or something, and he's just jumps on me and is messing with me.
I think you took an embarrassing picture of Scott and he didn't want you to
I don't
post
think
it.
that's at all. the
Ooh,
So
case.
he
that might have
tackled
been
you.
it. That might
Yeah,
have been-
I would like to see the picture then, Joey. Where's the picture? Show
I
it.
don't have it.
Bring it. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And then here's Lily trying to
there's
learn a
me
new
bailing.
trick. Or she's breakdancing.
I was for sure learning a new trick and I bailed.
I think you were breakdancing. Like, just trying to
Yeah,
do
that's
something
like
sweet.
a nasty fall right there.
What? That's not a nasty
Yeah,
fall.
you guys can't see my legs right now, so I may or may not have a broken foot from this
Oh my
Great
gosh.
Lakes race.
So then the next 4
We don't
weeks,
know.
we're going to keep it all hidden. You'll only see Lily from...
Honestly, that's something we would do.
It would. Okay. That's some of the behind the scenes. You guys get to see it first, so we're pretty stoked to show it to you. Joey, thanks for filming with me on how to ride trails. Man, we love being able to ride trails. Lily, you got to get with it. Today she's practicing with a bunch of friends. Isn't that right, Lil?
I am. Yes, we're having lots of people out to our trails to
No
ride.
complaining.
I even brought my other one wheel.
Woo.
What's your
to-
other one wheel?
I have a Mod 1 Plus
Oh, yeah.
hybrid with a treaded tire on it. Great for trails.
This is true.
Isn't it called like the Pink Beauty or something?
Barbie Dream House.
Barbie
Yeah.
Dream House, that's what it is.
Pink Beauty. It's called the Barbie Dream House because it's like decked out in pink. It's so beautiful. I love it.
Okay.
People are
All
like, why
right.
don't
So
you-
Rachel, you like you're a coffee drinker.
Yes.
How do you prefer your coffee? Are you like straight black? Give me cream and sugar. How do you take your coffee? In the chat, write it. Tell us how you take your coffee as well. Rachel, how do you take your coffee?
If it is good coffee, it should be drank black. That's it. Like,
Agree.
end of story. If you are not buying good coffee, you have to put creamer in it. So treat yourself.
Oh,
Buy
wait,
some
wait,
good
wait.
coffee.
Okay, that's fair. So if
Yes.
the coffee is tasty, straight
Yes.
black. But if you got to add something to it,
Bad coffee.
bad coffee. Okay, that's fair. Do you agree with that, Joey?
You know, I do. I like my coffee black. It's the best way to drink it. As I have some black coffee right here, but
Is that your
I
mug?
agree. I agree with Rachel. If it's bad coffee, which this is not
cute
great
mug,
coffee
Joey.
actually,
Who made the coffee? Who are you trashing right now?
I am trashing myself.
Just
So do
checking.
you need some better coffee? Should I seriously make some up here?
Yeah,
All
you
right,
know,
we're
see,
doing
I
it.
have grounded coffee that's probably sitting in my closet for like months.
Not good.
Ew.
That's your
And
first mistake.
That's
Yeah.
exactly because there's some science behind it, Miss Barista, right? She worked at Starbucks before, but like
I did.
I'm pretty sure coffee beans and you ground them up, like it's better. I know
more,
it's
it's
better.
more fresh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why?
Because you're taking it from, well, not its original form, but its most original form that we can brew coffee in, right? Because we're not going to start at the... He's not even... He's like, We're not going to
Wait,
start...
I gotta interrupt real quick, Lil.
What?
Because I just read in the text that we have our chat. We have someone that has never actually tasted coffee and they're 20 years
kidding me?
old.
That's crazy.
They've made it 20 years, Rachel.
Blows my mind.
We need to go to South Africa.
Yeah,
I'm
Dawn, I
speechless.
need to
That's
help
where he
you.
lives.
Wow.
Are you serious?
I know that my mom loves black coffee.
Yes,
like,
Mary.
She just said that in the chat.
Black coffee all the way. That's how I grew up watching it be drank. Was never doctor
I
it
like
up.
learning how people
So,
take it.
Lily and I actually both have worked at Starbucks. I was sent to, when Starbucks used to have a coffee university in Chicago, I was sent there to get a certification to be able to be a barista and all these crazy stuff. So
Called
we
Coffee
probably know
Master.
too much about coffee in
And-
this room.
But my
Yes,
question
Joey.
to you, Scott, is do you even drink coffee?
That smile after says,
Called
I know
out.
the answer to this.
No, I do not drink coffee. I don't really have a good reason outside. I don't enjoy the taste very much. But I like the idea of it. Like, there's just something about holding onto a
Yeah.
mug, especially
It's called
when
an
it's
aesthetic.
cold.
We talked about it
Oh
earlier.
yeah, we did talk about that earlier.
It's really nice, but no, I don't drink it. My mom did not pass that on to me. I remember sipping on it, and it's just like sipping on straight caffeine. Name the song.
Chlorine
No, that's
by
chlorine.
21 Pilots.
Dang
Yeah.
it! Throw the iPad out. Okay.
Well, it makes sense for the context. I
It
thought it was
does.
genius what you just
21
did.
Yeah.
Pilots.
It is.
Yeah.
Well done.
Sipping
Well
on
done. Okay, hey,
chlorine.
thank you for those that are hanging with us. We're going to talk about coffee all morning today just because we want to and we can. But that said, we found a video that makes us smile. And if you watch it, you might chuckle because you might have actually, this happened to you or you've done this before. It's meant to just make you smile. Because here on this channel, we want to inspire you. We want to talk about God in a context of how He can be involved in our lives through a relationship with Jesus. And so we don't want that to turn you off. We want you to enjoy those things because we believe that a relationship with Jesus will make your life better and make you better at life. This video is a great way to just kind of process how do you talk about your relationship with Jesus, and maybe you do it over a hot cup of coffee. I hope this video makes you smile. We'll be right back to continue to talk about coffee. Enjoy this video.
No, I'm not kidding.
Sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. We're glad you're here.
That coffee is hot.
Isn't that the worst?
Oh, I just burnt my tongue.
You know what? You think that's hot? You gotta try that burn, like 10 billion times worse, all over your entire body as you fall into the pits of hell because you haven't surrendered your life over to the will of Jesus Christ. Huh? That's a burn you won't get over. Saved you a cookie.
Back after that, come on, that's pretty funny. You catch you right off guard right there. Hey, I'm bringing, because I'm not bringing any, it's empty, okay? But I am bringing my favorite mug that I drink hot things out of. It was asked in the chat, then I'm a tea drinker. I don't really like tea either because I just feel like it's just watered down substance. So what do I drink that's hot would be the next question. Not hot cocoa, don't like that either. Hot cider?
Delicious.
So delicious on a winter day. Put a little whipped cream on top, a little cinnamon, maybe a little vanilla in it. It's the way how Starbucks taught me how to make it. So tasty. And then I drink a warm drink before bed every night to help with recovery as I'm training to race or run 100 miles. And so this is my mug. My mug has a moose on it, Minnesota, pine trees. It has an axe, fishing poles, kayaks, paddle boards. It's all things Minnesota.
I love that.
It's a great mug. All right, we got some things popping up over here with Rachel. We got some coffee. And
Yes. Okay, so let me introduce you to Black Rifle Coffee. It is the best coffee in the whole wide world. Blackbeard's Delight. You need to go get yourself some.
why is that the best?
It's the best because, well, I really like dark coffee, dark roast. It's just a thing for me, and this has chocolate flavors to it. And so it's this beautiful, rich cup of coffee. One of our buddies introduced it to us, and it also supports veterans. So that's pretty cool. It makes me feel good for spending a lot of money on a bunch of coffee.
Yes. Okay, we got a guy on the switcher today. He's just happy buttoning and he's popping on the wrong
Happy
shot. Sorry
buttons.
about that. We were trying to focus Rachel's camera there. So Black Rifle Coffee
So
is the
good.
way to go, you're
It's
saying.
delicious.
Yeah, and then you have to brew it the right way. So
Wait, hold on, before we get to the brewing
Okay.
process.
I'm excited for my coffee, man. I just want to say
yeah, have you not had any yet today?
I want number 2.
Oh, okay. Lily, do you agree with Black Rifle being your favorite? And people, please, in the comment, tell us what you prefer. What's the brand you like to drink? Lily, are you with her? Is this the best of the best, or is there something else out there?
Well, I just have to start off by saying this is probably my favorite live stream ever. Because
Look
this
at that.
is amazing.
Look at your
Yeah, we
table.
I know.
Dang.
All I gotta say is this
so much-
right here looks like I'm about to do a science experiment.
Yeah, right?
Have you
wow.
had Black Rifle, Joey?
I have not, but I
Okay,
want to try it
Black
because
Rifle,
Jordan talks about it
yeah.
all the time. I've heard you talk about it, and
it's
now Rachel's talking
delicious.
about it.
They
so.
do an amazing job. It really is good. I will not say the best coffee in the world about anything because it's all so good, and it comes from different regions in the world. So there's different parts that make it so good.
Okay, so answer the question. Your favorite coffee, is it Black Rifle or is it something else?
I don't have a favorite. because there's too many that I like too much to
That's
decide.
not, no, you,
No, I
this
don't
isn't
have
a
it.
child
I
you're
don't
picking
even have.
from.
I honestly don't even
You're
have.
not
a
offending
preference.
someone, you gotta pick.
I have a preference of dark roast, just like Rachel. So I do like Black Rifle, but I've never even bought it for myself.
Okay, so there's the answer. You don't like it enough to buy it for yourself.
I just haven't.
Out.
I haven't had to buy coffee for myself like in 7 years. So, although I did buy this because I wanted to have it today. This is Spy House. Joey, have you ever had Spy House?
I have had
Spy House is all of our friends that are not local to the Twin Cities. If you ever came to Minneapolis, we would take you to Spy House because it's like probably the best coffee shop in town.
Bold.
I'd
It
say
is
it's
up there.
delicious. So we have some Spy House today to
I
drink.
love it.
Okay, I'll be honest. When I have tasted it, my favorite is Golden Hour from Peter McKinnon's partner's coffee shop out in California, which is, I can't remember the name of the shop, but it gets mailed here, and it's got like hints of marshmallow in it. And do you remember all that, Lil?
I do. I'm looking it up right
It's
now
tasty.
because
It's
it's
so
like
tasty.
Owl something.
Yeah,
coffee.
some of you will know what I'm
White
saying.
Owl.
It smells so good when it's brewed. Oh my gosh. My wife Holly absolutely loves it. Okay, we're gonna go. Lily's gonna start brewing over there in her French or in her. I don't even her.
This
What
is
is
called
that?
this is called a Chemex. It's a pour
Chemex.
over.
Okay, you start brewing.
Want to brew?
We got Rachel over
Yeah.
here who's gonna start brewing in what? What do you have?
Okay, so one of my favorite things to do, I'm a big hiker and adventure, and there's no excuse not to have good coffee wherever you are. So my brother, who's incredibly awesome, gifted me this jet boil with a French press in it, which is super awesome. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm in the middle of mountains and I'm gonna make some camp coffee right now.
Wait, hold on. That's awfully big
Well-
for a like if I'm trying to be slim. Wouldn't I want it in something like the size of your other cup?
It is. Did you see me take it all out? It all
That
like
thing's
fits
bigger
into that.
than the cup. That cup fits in it.
Yeah, but I would never take this camping
Why?
because this is heavy and huge.
That's huge.
But this
This
is
is so big
no,
round.
no, it all fits.
Okay.
It all fits.
Okay. You're brewing.
Can I light some fire in
Yeah,
here?
go for it. Lily and I
Alright.
had sparkles in here once too.
You
It
had
was great.
sparkles?
Yeah, sparklers.
Oh, this is very safe.
Yeah, the sparklers were not. Lily over there is struggling. Let's check in
No,
with
I'm not.
Lily.
I'm
under
not.
her-
I was getting a plug-in for our grinder here, which
You're
this
gonna
is.
grind your coffee?
Yeah, this is my only. This
How
is
are we supposed to do
real
it?
coffee brewers would shame me for this because I have an electric brewer, not a bird grinder, or an
Oh,
electric
true.
grinder, not a bird grinder.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
a bird grinder?
Bird grinder doesn't use electricity and it has like a really well, it obviously, but it's
Is it
like
battery powered? That's
yeah, some of
electricity.
them are.
No, but
Well-
look, no, you can use cranks, Joe.
Yeah,
Like
they
where
have
you're-
cranks. Those are bird grinder. It's just it's the type of
That's
of
old school.
Okay, you get back
Whatever.
there. You're gonna hear
Alright.
some grinding
Okay,
in the
this might-
background.
this might get a
Check
little
in
loud,
with
though.
Rachel over here. She's got her system like it's
Okay.
built up. Look at this thing.
Are you ready for this?
I don't know. Lily's over there grinding.
Ah! This part always scares me.
Oh, it's lit. We have fire, folks. If you can see it, we have fire.
Alright. This is gonna be a thing. We have to wait until this turns red.
What turns red?
What
This.
the heck? is
The
going
logo?
on?
Yeah.
Now that's pretty cool. The logo.
Right?
Check. Oh wait, you
I
can
have
kind
never
of
Wait,
seen.
that's
Can I
so
see it?
cool.
Guys,
look. It's turning red. Can you
Yeah.
see that? Let's get a little title. You can kind of see where it's starting to turn red. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna get my filter
That's
going here
amazing.
for my
This
French
is-
press.
Okay, let's check in with again. If you're just tuning in Good morning, welcome to Unlock Church on YouTube. Today we're teaching you how to brew coffee clearly. And why? I have no idea, but we just thought it'd be fun. No, it'll tie in. We're going to check in with Lily and Joey here after she had just grinded her coffee.
All right, yes, the coffee is ground. Joey, are you ready?
I am
You
ready.
doing this?
I mean, I'm just
Okay,
blown away
here.
by how you can make coffee.
Take this.
I like
Wait, hold on.
drinking
You
coffee.
put grounds in there already?
Yeah, we
But-
have.
Okay.
This is my reusable filter here, and we have the coffee grounds. You want for Chemex, you want it to be pretty fine, kind of
What'd
like
you say, Chemex?
this is called a Chemex pour
Oh.
over. For every pour
This
over,
is
you want
crazy.
the grind to be
All
fine.
right, pour while you
All
talk.
right.
All right, Joey, I'm gonna let you do it. So
got
wait,
it.
wait. The first pour has to be just over the
little
grounds.
teapot.
Okay.
Oh
The
my
first pour has to be
goodness.
just over the ground. So just make
Wait,
some
what?
circles. Make some circles as you pour. We're gonna get real. Okay. Stop. Okay, we're gonna let this.
A little too fast.
We're gonna let this steep for 30 seconds. What the first pour does is it allows the notes, which are baker's chocolate, black walnut, and creme brulee, to bloom.
Okay, well,
So it's
it's
kinda like the
blooming over
flowering.
there. You bloom,
Okay.
you two.
Okay.
We're going to check in with
Her
Rachel as her
blooming.
logo has turned red. What's next, Rachel?
Woo! Okay, so I poured my coffee in. I had some freshly ground at home. I didn't bring my grinder, although I probably should have brought my grinder because Lily had her grinder. So, okay, now I have my French press thingy. I let the beans soak. Lily, how long am I technically supposed to let the ground soak in my French press?
30 seconds.
So
Is it
the
30
first
seconds?
pour, so you should do first pour just to cover the grounds
Oh, I
and let
didn't
it
do that.
let it steep and bloom for 30 seconds. But so you have it filled all the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
but I
5
can't-
minutes and then press.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Okay, so we'll be
Yeah,
right
I-
back to let you know how that all tastes. 5 minutes. You didn't think about that one, did you? 5 minutes.
It makes sense because last time I was camping,
It's super
I had
watery.
really weak coffee.
Yeah.
This is why.
The longer it sits there, the more coffee extracted from the beans or the grind. Lily, how are we doing over there? Are we
All right,
pouring?
Joey is starting his next pour. I'm telling him to go in slow and circular motions, and we have a scale underneath. So we're gonna pour until we get to about 900 grams of water. Okay. Some people use milliliters, but my scale's set to grams because I use it to measure food sometimes. So that's what we're gonna do. So he's just gonna pour, and we're gonna let it steep. It's gonna be good. Okay, that's good for now. We'll let
Okay,
this
while
go
they're
through.
doing that and we're waiting 5
Patient
minutes
cup
over
of
here
coffee.
for Rachel, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a moment to either go fill up your coffee because you watch this going, I need some more coffee, or you would love a moment to just pause and reflect because you have had a busy week. We're really stoked to be able to bring you moments where you can reflect on what does it mean to be in a relationship with God? Who is God? Well, what role does he play in your life? Maybe answer this question. Who do you say Jesus is? I think that's a great question always. Who do you say Jesus is? Because that actually should give you indicators on making future decisions. And so we're going to play a song here that just gives you a moment to do that. Maybe you want to sing along. Maybe it's going to be one of your new favorites. Our hopes when we play these songs is not that you tune out and log off and it's a good bathroom break or something. This is actually a good moment for you to reflect and maybe give worth to God in the week that you've had, that you can say, I'm thankful for where I'm at, though I have things I want and I need, but God, you still are providing my daily bread. I have been able to eat. I had shelter last night. And so take a moment to do those things as we work on our coffee in studio today. Enjoy this song. We'll be right back.
Who do you say I am? One question from Jesus still ripples through time.
As the Spirit was moving over the water, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. As the Spirit was moving over the water, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you feel the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you feel me. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you feel the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here
Okay, that song is tremendous, and you should download it and listen to it all the time. Like, it gets me pumped. Hopefully it's still playing underneath us just a little bit there for your enjoyment. We're going to check in on our coffee, and we're actually going to use what's happened in studio with the coffee to have a conversation about some of the process of making coffee. I have a feeling it has to do with the filtering system of coffee. It's just thought that I have. I don't know. But Rachel's here to have us or lead us in that conversation a little bit. But let's check in first with Joey and Lily and to see how we're doing with the coffee over there. How are we doing, guys?
Good.
It is looking great.
Are you ready to try it?
I am super excited to
Okay.
try it, Lily.
So what we're gonna do is sometimes this is a step in the process that burns you if you're not careful because
yeah.
you touch the hot filter. So you want to pull your.
Yeah, thank you for
Hey.
being willing to maybe
So
burn yourself.
do we want to do a quick traditional coffee tasting? Just
No,
real
we
quick?
don't have time for
Okay,
that.
okay.
What are we doing?
Just smell and slurp.
Smells great, and slurp. I'm a little worried that it might be too hot, so I'm gonna
That's
wait
why you
till
slurp.
Okay, slurp.
Joey burns his... his face!
It's not that hot. It's very good. It's a lot better than mine.
Well, that's because you
it
got yours at
delicious?
7-Eleven. I mean, it's just...
No, he brewed
7-Eleven.
it.
I actually brewed mine.
Gas station coffee is not cool, guys.
Okay, I would assume you were probably like Noah who left a comment going, wait, I just thought you filled something up with water and just hit a button and coffee came out.
That's pretty much. I did fill the I don't even know what you call it.
The filter.
The filter. I put coffee in it, but then I did just push a button and it started brewing.
Yeah,
so Noah, that is kind of how I do my coffee. And there are ways, the Keurigs these days, you just put something in and you push a button and it makes a cup of coffee. That's what you're thinking of, I think.
Yeah,
That's what
but
I
I
would
do
do.
know that usually can tend to burn your coffee and not taste very well. I learned too much. I know too much about coffee for a guy that doesn't drink it. And Lily, that looks a little, it's not as dark as I thought it would be. It's a little
Yes.
light over there, right?
Yes, that's how typically from your local coffee shops, they're going to be a little bit more acidic, lighter beans, lighter roast.
Yeah, you could tell. I don't know if you guys noticed as she's pouring, you could see that it wasn't super dark in it. So, for those that like really dark coffee, might not like that. Let's check in with our camping expert on making coffee. What do you think? How did you fare over there?
I'm really excited to try it. So let's just go. Oh, it's a little gritty. It's a little gritty, but that's how it goes. When you're in the
Looks
middle of the
good,
woods,
though.
it's like you can't.
Yours looks darker, and
Yes.
yours is the French press. So French press
Yes.
is going to tend to be a little bit darker because you're just.
Exactly.
I mean, that filter, she's slamming it down on the ground.
Yeah.
If you show her the close shot here, you can see the ground is still on there.
Yeah.
And it's at
And
the
it's, like,
bottom of the.
Pretty gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, so let's see. Let's give yours a little smell slurp. See what it tastes like.
Perfection.
Perfection. Yeah, if you're out in the woods and that's all
Seriously,
you got.
it's like, oh yes.
Oh, good.
Can you
see the
We're ready
steam?
for this,
Oh, so
guys.
good.
We're
Okay,
so ready.
so there we go. Now, tell us, why did you ask us to bring in our coffee-related things today and how we like to brew them? Please tell us
Yeah.
what is the idea behind this, Rachel?
Okay, so I'm gonna get you thinking first, and then I'm gonna give the solution away. Okay. So first, I want to ask you a question. Have you heard the verse, I can do all things through Christ, right? This
Yeah.
is pretty famous.
Say it all the time.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous plaque-worthy Christian quote. And I think oftentimes we think of this verse of like, I can do all things through Christ, like super like mountaintop, like we're just like doing things great all the time. But do you actually know where author Paul was when he wrote this verse?
Ooh.
Are you
Do we
asking
know
us to
it?
guess?
Yeah,
Do we
no,
know it?
well, yes,
We
or
can
if
guess.
you know.
We can guess.
We'll get. I mean, I would assume that Paul often wrote when he was in prison or house arrest. So that would be my first guess is that he was on house arrest. How about you, Joey and Lily?
Yeah, I think he was. It was in Philippians, and so I know in Philippians he's in jail a lot of the time, right?
That's
so
what I've
that's
heard.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I've heard too.
Did we get it right, Rachel?
We've got some smart leaders here. Absolutely. Yeah. So Paul was definitely in prison when he was writing this verse, which I think is fascinating because this verse that we often claim for being a mountaintop verse is actually Paul writing in prison. So I can do all things through Christ. It's written in a really tough moment for Paul. And I want us to think about for a moment, where are you at are you in I don't want to say in a prison, but so we talk about this being a mountaintop verse, but are you on a mountaintop? Is your thought life on the mountaintop? Is it in a low valley, or are you in wandering in the chaos of the wilderness, right? Where are you at in your thought life? I want you to think about that for a moment. And I say that because Paul actually, prior to writing, I can do all things through Christ, he gives us the antidote to being able to do all things through Christ, whether that be in the mountaintop, in the valley, or in the wilderness. So I'm going to talk you through what that antidote is, and really, spoiler alert, it's really just a filter for your mind. That's it. Get it? So
Like the coffee
Mic
filter.
drop.
yes, let's go. So now that when you're making coffee throughout the week, I want you to think about, how am I doing on my thought life? How am I doing on the filtering of my thoughts as well, okay? So I just gave away the ending for you. Now I'm going to tell you how to get there. Sound good?
Yes.
That's great.
amazing.
Give
Okay.
us the roadmap.
Can't wait.
The roadmap. All right, so let's go to Philippians. I'm going to pull up my notes, but there is a verse, hopefully on a slide. It is Philippians
4:12.
Is that? Nope. Nope. 4 through 9, please. Okay, so let's start off with the first part of the verse. So the first part goes, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Woo! Okay, so, but my question to you is, sometimes when you're in a really tough spot, it's really hard to rejoice, right? So my question for the room is, what do you do when you find it difficult to rejoice?
I think when you're asking right away, what do I do when I'm in a tough spot to rejoice? I don't think I'm throwing a party, but it's a mindset of there's still a chance. It's like you'll see it in our races a lot. If you're in last, you're still racing as if you have a chance. Something could still happen that turns the tide. And so I think when I'm in those moments of the valley, it's the mindset of like, there's still a chance. It can still work out. There's still a chance that even if it doesn't work out, it's still going to be used for good, that I'm going to learn something from it. And I know that's like, oh yeah, you're just saying that. But honestly, that typically is the spot that I am. And that's how I can stay with the positive mindset of going, hey, even the rough stuff, the bad things that are happening, there's some good that's going to come out of it. I just don't get to choose when that is. It could be 24 hours from now. It could be 24 years from now. But some good will come out of it. Sometimes the good that comes out of it, I'm not even aware. That there's still good happening in the process that I'm unaware of, and I won't know until I'm on the other side figuring things out. So what do you guys know about it, Joey and Lily?
I mean, Scott, you just nailed it on the head, I think. But like, I agree with you. Just like when you're going through like trials in your life and you're having tough times in your mind and trying to filter things through. I think knowing that those things in your life, there might be a reason, and it's going to mold you into a better person. And so just realizing that while going through it, it's not easy to go through tough times and know that there's another side to it. But just kind of finding that hope, kind of like Scott was saying, that there's always hope in Jesus, and so knowing that, going through the process that you're going through.
All right, Rach, how'd we do?
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, I love it. And this is what I really love about the discussion too. My answer and Joey's answer and Scott's answers are all similar train of thinking, but just a different, unique way to think about it. So hopefully one of those different ways of thinking about how do I rejoice even when I don't feel like rejoicing, hopefully that speaks to you, or one of those thoughts speak to you. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the verse here. So the second part of the intro of the recipe for thought, if you will, the second part goes, let your gentleness be evident to all. If we could get that on the screen. So exactly, let your gentleness be evident for all. So when I read this, funny quick note on how I interpreted this. When I think of gentleness, I'm gonna rat on Lily a little bit. 2 years
all
ago,
knew
I
it
think it
was
was 2 or 3
coming.
years ago, Lily's New Year's resolution was to be more gentle. And if you know, Lily is my favorite when she enters any room because she makes some sort of noise or commotion. Either she's tripping or like runs into something or speaks really loudly. You know when Lily enters a room, she's not gentle. I love it. It's great. But we're not talking about this type of gentleness, so I'm going to totally rat her out, but then...
Wait, hold on.
bring it back.
Even as you say that, Yesterday we were picking corn. That we're giving away thousands of ears of corn today at Maple Grove AMC Theater. Please come get free corn. Like we have 4 acres. It's like 40,000 ears of corn we're trying to give away. And Lily's there doing her thing, and like she's the only one that I know of that fell off the back of the truck and twisted her ankle. How do you
That's
feel
just
about that?
clumsy. That was just me being clumsy.
Is it? Never
I
mind.
did. I straight up fell. I fell. Like,
Do you
I
just-
don't really fall unless it's off my one wheel. I don't like trip and fall very much anymore.
I don't
And
know.
I'm sure you were
Like,
like,
that was a fall.
how did it happen though? Like, were you like?
I was
I'm
on-
sure you were like screaming something.
No,
or
I
yelling
wasn't. I
something.
just was dumping corn into the back of a truck, and I was on the ledge, and I came down and fell right on my back.
She did, man. It was
Yeah.
straight. It was straight
hurt.
backside. Boom.
Anyways, thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear what kind of gentleness
Yeah,
this
okay.
is, because
Yeah.
every time I see the word gentle in the Bible, it's like, Lily, you need to work on this. Doesn't matter what definition it holds.
Okay, so I was studying on this type of gentleness, and you're actually really good about this translation or interpretation of gentleness, Lily. The translation or interpretation for this type of gentleness, let your gentleness be evident for all, is really consideration. That's what my footnotes say, okay? So we ask this a lot at Unlock Church, what does love require? And I think it's pretty fascinating that Paul, when he's talking about going through a tough spot, he brings up servanthood. So servanthood actually helps to bring you into a better mindset and train your eyes on Jesus, okay? So let your gentleness be evident to all, asking yourself, what does love require in whatever situation you're walking through?
You know what I think is interesting there, though, is you bring up that it alludes to that serving others is what we're referring to. But scientists have proven what I love when science just comes and confirms
Yes.
what the authors of the Bible are trying to write to teach us. That when we serve, there's a chemical reaction. Dopamines are shot into your head, which releases like this excitement. You feel really good when we serve other people. When we're generous with our time, our resources, like there's a reward in doing that. So when you're feeling low, you're feeling that your mind is racing 100 miles an hour. And you've got to have a Trump button over all those feelings. I'm going to figure out how to go serve somebody. Now, the problem is a lot of our minds race when we lay in our bed and the opportunity to serve someone isn't really there exactly at that moment. But if you do it throughout the day, there's less of a chance you'll lay in your bed and your mind will be racing because you have shot your brain full of dopamines. And the reward of serving other people, like when we were pulling corn yesterday, I don't really benefit from that. We're pulling more than I will ever eat, 40,000 ears of corn, right? And so I came home, I was tired and excited about today and just at peace because of the dopamine being shot. We were all picking and enjoying the afternoon, being able to serve our community, not those that we know, those that today will come and get free corn. And I think that's what Paul and the authors in the Bible are talking about. Serve one another and you'll be rewarded. I think, right, Rach?
Crushed it. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to steal that, actually. I'm going to take that in my notes for sure. That science piece of it. That's good. Okay. I want to marinate on that a little bit more, but I have to move us on here. So I'm going to take us to the third part of the intro. So next, Paul says, can you put it on the screen? I have it like the key points memorized, but it's with prayer and petition, present your requests to the Lord. And yes, the rest of it is beautiful, but present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And I really want to focus us on the with prayer and petition. My family has complimented me as being a stubborn person. I'm going to take that as a compliment, right? And I think
if only the way Lily intros room is a compliment as well.
it's a compliment.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But this is where let your stubbornness or let your perseverance with your prayer request, let that benefit you in your conversations with Jesus. And I'm going to ask a rhetorical question. I don't want us to answer this out loud, but I want everybody to think about this. Who do you go to first when you are facing an issue? In whatever wilderness you're wandering through right now, who are you going to first? Are you going to your friend, to your spouse, to your cat, to your dog? Who are you talking to about your issues? And I want to just petition you to go to our Creator, go to the Holy God first and say, with prayer and petition, Jesus, help me in this situation. Help me with my mindset. Whatever it is, I urge you to go to the Father first.
Yeah, but
and
so
go
let me
prayer and
ask this, Rach,
Yeah.
as you're saying that, and we have people watching that are like, okay, you're telling that
Yeah.
sounds really good. That's good churchy stuff. Like,
Yep.
good. Go tell me to talk to the Creator. Go talk to God who sent Jesus down a cross. That's great. That sounds good. But can you make it more tangible
Yeah.
for people to do that? Because I mean, I grew up hearing that, and it was just like, yeah, that's great. That's good Christian talk.
Yeah.
But how do you do that?
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it's as simple as help. And there's literally a verse in the Bible. It's Acts 1:8. I don't have it. I didn't get a screen for it, but it's the premise of it is, man, I need to, when I'm nervous, I don't have all my scripture memorized word for word, but I do have it memorized. Ask me later. And it says, and the Holy Spirit, or shoot, Scott, help my nerves. It's with prayer. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Well, here's, you
1:8.
said it's Acts 1:8.
It's Acts
You
1:8.
will
You'll
receive power
power
when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere.
Yes. And seriously, this is really just asking help and knowing that Jesus, those are actually Jesus' last recorded words in Acts. You will receive power when you ask the Holy Spirit for help. And so believe that. I would urge you to simply say help and believe that Jesus said that the Holy Spirit will help us.
Okay, so I like that. Like that is like, if we have a conversation with God, that's the benefit of it. That's what will happen when we ask. Okay, so the verse had, don't be anxious about anything, right?
Yeah.
That part like jumps out to me every time I read that, because it's like, okay, if the antidote to being anxious is to have a conversation with God, which is prayer, okay, I get that. But to be anxious, Rachel, is that a sin? Is that wrong to be anxious? When Paul writes, don't be anxious about anything, honestly, do you think that is something that I should not do? Or is it okay to just let my mind take me down a rabbit trail and be anxious about everything?
That's a really good question. I'm trying to think through Jesus' life and if he displayed anxiousness or anxiety anywhere. The closest thing I can think of was when Jesus was wandering in the desert and the enemy was tempting him, but I don't know that he was anxious in that, right?
Well, I don't know either, because I wasn't walking in his sandals. But I do think when he was in the garden,
Yeah, that's what
I think that
Right.
when you read verses where think about this is what you are telling, and this is what I love about following Jesus, is Jesus was 100% human, and so he felt every one of our emotions that we've ever felt. He's been there, done that. So he's our advocate. And so when Jesus was about to be arrested and crucified, the authors, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, record different versions or their different perspectives of what was taking place. But Jesus prays. What we just learned here is that we weren't anxious. Have a conversation with God. He prays to his Father, and he says, God, may this cup pass before. May it go, like if Rachel was to hand the mug, God, I don't want the coffee. Let it go past me to the next person. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to have to go through it. Because he knew what was about to take place. God, if there's another way for this to be done, let's figure that one out. So he's praying. And then the authors also record that when Jesus is in the garden, he's sweating drops of blood, which science have proven that happens when you're under a great deal of stress. That you're overwhelmed, that you're anxious to the spot of that the blood capsules are bursting and getting into your sweat glands, and then you sweat drops of blood that way. And so science again proving that this can happen. Jesus, anxious, overwhelmed, takes what Paul writes. Paul's writing this because he is watched what Jesus did in the garden and has a conversation with his heavenly Father, God, and says, hey, I'm anxious. I don't want to have to do this, but your will be done. I think that's where we've got to get to on this topic. Whatever we're anxious on, is that if we can get to the spot, Rachel, of your will be done, God, not mine, it dilutes the anxiousness, because we're anxious because we believe we have control of whatever the situation is, which we actually don't. God has control of it. So then we're going to say, okay, whatever it might be, I'm going to walk through the confidence that God, your will is going to be done. And I'm going to not be anxious. And I'm going to hold on to those truths. So is it wrong to be anxious? Is it a sin? If we live in it, it's a problem. I mean, science has proven that it ruins the way you're thinking. Jesus says, I might be stealing some of your verses, but Jesus says, what day, can a man add any day to their life by worrying or being anxious? Do you have that verse,
No.
Rachel?
Preach
It's Matthew chapter 26. Can anyone add an hour to their life by worrying or being anxious? Rachel, what's the answer to that?
No,
Why not?
because it,
Don't freeze on me. You got this. We got this. She's
no, it's like no.
right.
It doesn't help anything. Me worrying about anything doesn't help anything not actually happen.
Right.
It's just like silliness. When you think about it from a zoned out perspective, it's silliness. It's this worrying or not sleeping at night. That's a really good example in my life. Sometimes I don't sleep when I'm worried about something. That doesn't help me. That actually hurts me because now I'm tired and I have to go do the thing I'm anxious about. It's silly.
Yeah, and because you didn't sleep well, it doesn't add any time to your life. Actually, think about it this way. I was running the other day and listening to a podcast, and somebody posted it this way. What you're worried about is shortening your life. And is it really worth your life? Whatever it is you're worrying about. Is it worth surrendering a day in your life for? If it's not, move on. Because you keep doing that and you're losing day by day by day, and you subtract a half a year of your life, wouldn't you rather live the extra half a year of your life than spend time worrying about or being anxious about things? And so the antidote to that worrying and anxious is to have a conversation with God of, God, this scenario is freaking me out. I need you to show up in this area. But if you don't, give me peace that your will be done. Yeah. There you go.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And as this verse continues, it gives more practical advice when we are stuck in that worry pattern, stuck in that worry cycle. The next part of the verse goes, Paul says, finally, brothers and sisters. Oh, no, that's towards the end. Oh my gosh, I'm like mixing it all up. But he says, focus on whatever is true. That's the next part of the verse. So whatever is true. So when I'm laying in bed at night trying to fall asleep, trying not to worry, or we're trying not to worry and lose days of our lives, focus on what is true. And so when we think about truth, truth is the opposite of a lie, right? And the enemy is so good at whispering lies in our ears and making us believe things that are absolutely not true. So along with asking God for help, I want you to also think about, in whatever situation you're going through, whatever is true. Find that truth. So for me, something, even today, one of the lies that the enemy was telling me heading into this is, Rachel, you are not worthy to teach you, and you're not worthy to have an opinion. And that is a lie. That is the enemy whispering straight lies into my ears. So I had to go into the Bible and think about, okay, what is true? What does the Bible say that is truth about me? And one of the verses that maybe this gives you a kickstart in your quest to find truth, biblical truth for the lies that you are being whispered in your ears. It's Colossians 1:13, if we could put that on the screen, please. So it says, for he has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son whom he loves, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. That is powerful. We have redemption. So I have redemption. It's not about worthiness for me. Jesus paved the way of worthiness. And so that's just one example for something that I struggle with. And I would just love for you all to think about what lies about yourself are you believing? Think about that. Spend time rooting out those lies and come at it with truth. And when you're laying in bed at night trying to figure out how to sleep or not to worry, you can go back to that verse that you have memorized or that truth that you have memorized and know that the feelings you're feeling are not adding value to your life.
Rachel, I think when you're saying what you're saying, you're doing a great job. Dan in the chat saying you're doing great under pressure, Rachel.
Thanks,
Just sigh of. But if we can put up that verse where think on these things, everything that's excellence, praiseworthy, that's the filtering system of which we need to focus on. That's it. That's the coffee filter we're talking about. And we're hunting for the verse as they're clicking through. But that's the filter. If you're looking, okay, so Rachel, you're telling me not to be anxious about anything, but what's my filter? There it is. Paul writes, whatever Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything's excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. That's the filter. So if it doesn't match those criterias, throw it out of your mind, because whatever you're spending time on is going to begin to give you the direction of your life. Your life goes in the direction of your strongest thought. So if it's I can't most of the time, you never will be able to. It doesn't matter if somebody screams at you to tell you to go faster or to lose weight or to save money. If you think you can't, you can't. Doesn't matter how much people believe in you. And so you've got to switch your filtering system through things that are, as she said, truth. And we want to make sure here that when we talk about truth, we're not talking about your truth. Like, it's real popular right now to go, no, this is my truth. That's great. I can just all day if that's how we're going to do life, is that this is truth to me, not to offend anyone, but if it's not grounded into what God has to say, then it might not be true. We're talking about grounding our foundation on who God is, who sent Jesus down on a cross for us, those truths. Okay, that's the truth we're talking about, because that will outlast everything we go through and face in our life. That's the truth. We're not talking about the truths that your friend is made up over a coffee, or worse yet, over a couple beers, and they go, this is truth. Like, come on. It's like some of those people that think, oh, no. There's no gravity. I don't think that's your truth. You believe that there's no gravity. Okay, great. Then let's go to the top of a building, and you step out in thin air first one. Right? It's like cool to say I don't think there's gravity until you're faced with the reality of, oh yeah, like, no, I was just joking. Our truth has got to be grounded somewhere that's been the same yesterday, today, and forever, and that is God's Word. And some of you want, well, it's just man-made, man wrote this, how can I believe that God's Word is true? There, science has proved it. I can spend a lot of time teaching you why the authors in the Bible are worth applying to your life. First deal is today. We're helping you live a better life, to get more out of life and not to waste life. Like what today have we said that you want to disagree with that wouldn't actually help your life? We're trying to extend your life and stop having you eliminate some days of your life. Rachel, it's been a great topic today. Do you have some closing thoughts on today's topic that we can leave those that are watching today, that they can wrestle with, maybe a bit of homework, or
yes.
just share us your closing thoughts?
Yeah, okay. So when we look at this list, and I'd love to just put up that list one more time, if you really study and think about this list, it really gives you a whole filter that requires you to seek biblical truth, right? And it requires you, so it says, think about whatever is noble and whatever is admirable. This requires you to have people around you that are noble and admirable, right? So think about your support system. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Who do you go to first? So are you around mentors? Are you around great friends? Who do you admire? Who's noble in your life? What's pouring into your life that adds value to your thought life, okay? And also, this list also requires that you celebrate God for the pure things, the lovely things, the excellent things, think about things that are worthy of praise. This is such a beautiful list. And I also, bringing back science to the table here, there is scientific research that proves that keeping a gratitude list improves people's lives, make them happier, allows them to sleep longer and better. And it's no coincidence that the author Paul has these things listed that require you to also filter things through a list of gratitude. So this week, my call to action to you is think about keeping a journal, right? So every morning, think about writing down each of these 8 things every morning. What is true, what is right, what is noble, and so forth. Or when you get yourselves in a situation where it's like, I can't see the light in this situation, filter, make yourself think about what is true in this situation, what is right, what is pure, what is lovely. And thinking about your thoughts and filtering your thoughts in this way will make an impact to you. And like Paul says, we can do all things through Christ. And by filtering our minds and being mindful about our thoughts, we can do all things through Christ, whether it be the mountaintop, the dark valley, or this crazy chaotic wilderness. That's what I have for you all.
Thank you, Rachel. You did a great job. And as she talked about Philippians, Paul being the author of it and wrote while he was in house arrest, theologians who study the Bible way better than any of us in this room, they have talked about Philippians being the most positive book of the Bible. Yet he was in one of the worst conditions of his life. The outside circumstances in Paul's life was pretty bad. Chained probably to a guard so he couldn't take off, in house arrest, writing to people he didn't even know he was going to go to, and yet he is so encouraging. He's actually taking every word he's writing and applying it in his own life. So if you would like a real life example on how to do this, read all of Philippians. You can download the Bible app that's free on your phone. You can go to Bible.com, I'm pretty sure, and you can type in Philippians and read it. It's really short. It's really interesting. But it's the apply what you see Paul doing as he's writing the most inspirational and exciting or happy book of the Bible is in Philippians. So I hope today we are intersecting in some of your lives that you needed to hear this so you stay focused on the great things and not the negative. Man, the world is full of people pointing out all the problems in the world. We got it, okay? There's problems in the world, and I can sit there and be a guy that points it out and lose sleep about how bad the world is, or I can go, okay, God, here's the issue. Your will be done. And I'm going to fight as if there's still good in the world. I'm not going to lose sleep all the time. Sometimes I might. This is always an easy thing to teach on, hard to always walk through and live out. I hope you guys are doing great. We want to transition into giving, which Lily's going to set up really quick. And then we're going to give you a couple upcoming events that you don't want to miss. Lily, tell us what you know about giving.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. What an awesome chat about
Seriously.
filters. Lots to work
Very
on
good.
this week.
Yes.
But we want to give you guys a chance to give. First and foremost, it's a chance to be obedient to the truth, which is God's word. And he asks us to give a portion of our income to the church, the local church. And we love to use it to help people all around the world. If you're watching here, you might not be local to where we are. You might be on the other side of the world. And that is what we are trying to accomplish here. We're trying to grow this thing so more people can hear about this truth. So we make it super simple for you to give. You can go to unlockchurch.com/give and give that way. Or you can go to your phone, which is probably what you're using to watch this. You can text the word unlock to 77977. And we just hope to use this to help people. That is our goal and our heart here, is to partner with people to unlock their God-given greatness. So thank you guys so much for your generosity. And Scott, back to you.
Thank you, Lily. And thank you, everybody that's logged on today and enjoyed a time with us. We hope we've made you smile, had a pause in your day. Honestly, our time here on this YouTube channel is to give you a moment to escape from the chaos of your life, to point you in a direction this week, to be the catalyst of your week. Going this week, I'm going to work on my filtering system of the way I think, and every time I have an anxious thought or a wrong thought, I'm going to focus on these things. That's our hopes this week, and that you will take the homework this week and read all of Philippians. If you do, would you tag us on Instagram? We'd love to see you doing it. And that you know what? This isn't bragging points or any of those things. This is just accountability going, hey, great, I can DM them, I can tag them on Instagram, and they're going to know that I'm doing it. And it's just a way to go, you know what, I'm going to do it this week. And I'm going to DM them, and it's going to be a fun way to track that you are putting great things in. A couple things that we want to make you aware of. One, if you are close to the Twin Cities of Minnesota, get yourself in your car, still in your pajamas is fine as well. Get to the AMC Theater in Maple Grove. You can hang out if you get there by 10 o'clock with us. We'd love to have you. But we're going to start giving away corn at 10 or 11:30, okay? We're going to have corn for you. You just come and grab as much as you can. Give it to your neighbors. 40,000 ears of corn. We got to get rid of this afternoon, so we'd love your help to do that. Bring everyone. It's not, seriously, we want to serve the community with that. Secondly, we're going to celebrate our 6th birthday as an organization, as a church, on September 12th. We're really stoked about that. We're really, really, really excited about it. And so what we're going to do in that is throw a big party in here. And we're going to kick off our Great Lakes 24-hour battle. See if we can get to 24 Great Lakes, paddleboard, and one-wheel race by all Great Lakes in 24 hours. That starts that weekend. So mark your calendars. It's going to be a great event, okay? Guys, it has been a pleasure. Lily, Joey, do you guys need more coffee or are you good?
I'm good. I'm starting to, never mind.
You're starting to shake a little bit?
No, not shake. I think the coffee's starting to come out of my armpits.
You're sweating?
A little bit.
Ew.
I mean, We're open and honest too.
We are.
at-
Maybe you were just nervous that somebody's going to throw a question at you today. You're like,
No,
yes!
you know what? I love today's topic. It
Yes,
was
it was
great.
good.
Filtering the mind through what Jesus has to say and Jesus' truths and what Jesus has to say about you and not what people have to say about you. And it's just so good. So thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Scott, for yeah, it was all good.
It was great.
It was
I'm
great.
Good day.
Let's go.
Rachel, great job for bringing a great topic with us today.
My pleasure.
And your coffee. That camping thing I thought was sketch at first. I give 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I just thought
You
it
didn't
was,
like an open flame in your garage?
No, none of that. It was the flame in it. It was just how big it is. Like if I'm going camping, that's just pretty bulky. I'd rather have extra fishing tackle than that.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Okay.
Not.
That said, everybody, this one is coming to a sad end. We love all of you. Have a great Sunday. Bye now.